My name is Steve Fillion. I'm the director of the Faculty Research Group on Immigrant Workers in Minnesota here at St. Cloud State University. Today, this conference is being co-sponsored by, and tomorrow is being co-sponsored by the Immigration History Research Center at the University of Minnesota. And we have here the director of the research, the center, Donna Gabachi, in the second row, and we have some of her esteemed students as well here for this panel. And so we greatly appreciate both Donna and the students from the University of Minnesota playing a role here in this panel. And also we have the St. Cloud State University students here. We have Mohammed Diri, and we have Afi Salah, and then we also have where's it? Sali? Yeah, where is she? Oh, okay. And we have Mustafa, Jamal, and Ahmed. No, Mohammed. I'm sorry. I know all these people. I've had conversations with them. I'm wiped out. So I apologize. I can barely remember my own name. We also have from Lutheran Social Services Mohammed Yusuf and Fatia Mohammed. They're both here in St. Cloud doing very important work at Lutheran Social Services, refugee employment services. And I suggested that we well, actually, the idea actually came originally from University of Minnesota students. Oh, by the way, we also have John Ziegler here also. And here's Steve. In any event, the idea originally was to have a dialogue between St. Cloud State University students and University of Minnesota students on issues in the Somali community in Minneapolis, in the Twin Cities area, and in St. Cloud. I suggested that the focus of the discussion would be best in keeping with the conference if we could focus on the ways in which both the communities in Minneapolis and in St. Cloud have been affected by the ongoing economic and jobs crisis that is plaguing this nation and all communities in this country, but especially immigrant communities are being hit very, very hard by the ongoing economic crisis in a number of particular ways. And I thought it would be useful to have them reflect, discuss, share stories, and the like, and then open this up to the audience. Mohammed and Fatia are the moderators, so at this moment I will give it a break and hand it over to Mohammed and Fatia to guide the discussion.
Good afternoon. I'm Fatia Mohammed, and for those of you who don't know me, I just graduated from SCSU myself last December. So I am new on board with Lutheran Social Services. I've only been there since January, I believe. And so I was interning with them in the beginning last semester before I graduated, and then there was an opening. I applied and I got hired as the refugee specialist. And so I've been there since. My experiences with the Lutheran Social, with the refugees while I've been there has been a bit intense, I guess, to see them what they go through on a daily basis. I was telling, when we gathered, I told Stephen, I always wanted to call you Kevin for some reason. But it is definitely intense what they go through, because before I went into the Lutheran Social Services, I myself, I guess part of it is just what, like, the typical stereotypes about the Somali people that are coming into the community, like what they are, and it kind of echoes inside me too, like, I guess unconsciously, you know, you're not even aware of them, but then you start believing that, oh, you know, they're just, you know, they just want to, you know, lazy bum laying around the house, don't want to work, they just want to make babies every year and just be on welfare. At some point, I kind of believed that, but then when I joined Lutheran Social Services, that totally changed my perspective. Like, I mean, yeah, these are people that are on welfare, but then you have to understand that they can be on welfare for the rest of their life. They don't want to be on welfare. That's why they're getting up even before me sometimes, even before the office opens. They're there waiting to be helped, look for work. But the problem is I've been there for almost 4 months now. We've only been able to place 2 people so far for housekeeping. I'm there, I've done like hundreds of applications so far. Hundreds for each person maybe. Not exaggerating, literally, these people are desperate. But nobody's willing to hire them. That's part of the frustration. Like, you know, sometimes they forget that I'm just there to help them find these jobs. You know, I just locate them and like what they are, find them on the internet, and then you know, we're just applying. You're one of the million applicants. We don't know for sure if you're gonna get the job. It's never guaranteed. So that's something that I have to try and explain to them, because they're kind of getting tired of it. They're like, you know, I'm here every day, applying, but nothing comes up. Like, oh, you guys are not doing anything for us. But it's not us, you know. It's gonna take more than LSS to try and accomplish that, at least to try and open up doors and opportunities for these people that are coming into the community, because I brought some examples of, like, just to kind of fill you in on what we go through. So, like, for example, MinnesotaWorks.net, you know, you would go and find a position for janitorial, but then if you look at the requirements, they want, okay, this one says less than high school diploma, but then there are some, even for dishwashing, that require high school diploma nowadays. So, and then, yeah, it says driver's license. So driver's license is also, like, you know, required. So then these are, you know, the people that are coming into our office are, like, you have to understand that they're below, most of them are below entry level. And so if, you know, they have to compete with everybody else, as you know, the economy has been in a pretty bad shape lately, and so their chances is, they're very, very narrowed down when it comes to that. So the other part of my frustration has been that sometimes, I guess, like with Workforce Center, they can offer classes and stuff like that, but then, okay, let me rewind. There was a job fair at SCSU. I came to try and connect with some of the employers, because, like I said, it's gonna take just going out into the community and just advocating for these people and mentioning what some of their assets are, because, I mean, they do have the skills. It's just that people are not giving them an opportunity. And so we talked about it, and we figured part of how we can help is by trying including some of the people who are willing to help, and we're doing that through RCA, Refugee Advisory Committee. This is a group that a lot of people who are working with, you know, organizations such as ourselves get together, and we sit down and like, you know, stimulate on ideas of how we can better help these people, what we can do as a team, because, like I said, I keep saying this over and over, it's really gonna take more than LSS to try and be there for these people, because that's just the reality of it. And so, you know, we're just, right now we're in a subcommittee. The Employment and Economic Subcommittee are sitting down and brainstorming on ideas of how we should be, like, going out there and promote these people. And so just things like that, I guess. That has been my experience. I will try and remember other things. If it comes to me, I'll let other people talk to them.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Mohammed. I work with Lutheran Social Service. I would like to mention some of the companies around St. Cloud in which many of the refugees used to work when the economy was good. Most of the Somalis, they were admitted as refugees here in the United States. Once they are admitted in the United States, they are given authorization to work in the US. So most of the people, some of them were actually in refugee camps, and immediately when they come into the US, what they do is they like to help the people that they left back home. and the only way is to get into work. So most of the people, when they come through our office here in St. Cloud, some of the major companies that does production work are like Genio, Golden Plum, Electrolux, IWCO, Barno Gold, National Vision, IWC in Little Falls. Those are some FDC, those are some main companies in which people, once they actually apply, they used to be called for interview when the economy was good. At that time, they had two barriers. One was majority of them didn't know English. That's the first barrier. The other one was transportation. Some of the companies that does not rely on a bus line, they need to have a share ride with friends or have their own car. So currently, those barriers have doubled. Right now, what they face is that they compete with the people who actually were here. You will see actually some staffing agencies like Work Connection. Currently, they place staff into two companies like Golden Plum and Genio. Before, when the economy was good, most of the immigrants were the people applying those jobs. But right now, we have a lot of people applying those jobs. In cities like Melrose, Minnesota, they give first priority to those people who are residents in Melrose. The people who apply within the city will be the first people to be called for interview. So the barriers has doubled, and many people who actually would like to be at work are actually missing work, and they are actually looking for a job each and every place. Places like hotels, industries, we have some friends, our older employers, who have immigrants or refugees, especially Somalis, working there. But they have plenty of people, plenty of applicants they can choose from. So currently, the number of family sites that we have in St. Cloud have been, you may see some people who have been applying jobs for like 2 years, 3 years, and they have never been called because the people that the employers are getting have more qualifications than them. So there's those difficulties that the families right now are facing. I would like to pass the phone to the next person.
My name is Saida Hassan, and I am a senior at the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, and I slightly missed the question, but from my understanding, we are talking about the economic crisis and how that affects the Somali. It really, I'm a full-time student, so it directly has not affected me yet, but I'm graduating in May, and I am looking for jobs, and I'm actually an education major, so that shouldn't, and my perception right now is like, it shouldn't affect me that much because there's always teachers that always needed. But that's not the case because they're laying off a lot of teachers as well. Another way that I can connect to this to my life is that my mother has been, she was working for SWIM, and it's called, SWIM is the short for Somali Women in Minnesota Community, for about 10 years. And in December, the whole community got laid off because of no more fundings and things like that. So that's another way that you could really see the economic crisis, how it directly affects it. So pretty much right now she doesn't do nothing but just be at home, and she's been working there since she arrived, and she did similar jobs to what you guys are doing right now. So I'm just gonna pass it on to Mustafa.
Good afternoon, my name is Mustafa. I'm from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities campus, and I study African American Studies and sociology. But I guess what I can contribute to this discussion, both my personal and what I've studied so far. But I think that what needs to be discussed is that although a lot of these people here, especially the Somali and other immigrants in Minnesota and nationally, support their families back home. So when the economy crashes, the lives of their families, be it in Mexico, be it in Mogadishu, be it in the Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya, are also feeling the pain because they can no longer send the remittances that they expect to receive on a monthly basis. But also, in terms of in the U.S., we have to understand that sometimes that a lot of refugees here are considered newly arrival second-class citizens. So it's very hard for them from the get-go to even approach these employers in terms of finding a job. And I think it has to do with the intersectionality of their race, class, and gender, and how that affects their daily life. Personally, I have my siblings and my cousins